May we request that you require everyone to observe silence because some of us are hard of hearing, including me, and it's quite noisy behind us. So can you request everyone, if they want to talk, that they step out the room so that we can hear everyone who are recognized to speak? Thank you. Madam Chair, there is a purpose and a need for confidential funds in the Department of Education because basic education is intertwined with national security. But of course, as we always say, we leave it to the discretion of the members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, the wisdom of granting confidential funds to the Department of Education.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I am done. Madam
Fine.
Chairman.
Thank you very much, Representative Lagman. Next to ask question is Deputy Majority Leader Marlene Primicias Agabas. Representative Jaime Fresnedi. Representative Salvador Plato, please. Representative Drixie May Cardena. Yes, you're recognized.
Kung kailangan ng intelligence or confidential funds para ma-identify ng DepEd kung sino itong mga anay sa hanay ng mga guro na dinadala sa ibang landas ang ating mga mag-aaral, ibigay sana natin sa DepEd lahat ng budget na ito. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you for the manifestation, Representative Cardena. Next, to ask question from the minority, Representative Raul Manuel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, dahil ito ay continuing session ng Committee on Appropriations, I just want to put on the record that as a youth representative, I am in a position to question tradition that no longer works and serves as barrier to healthy discussion about allocation and use of public funds. Our tradition of extending parliamentary courtesy stops us in the legislative branch to do our job for which we are paid by the Filipino people. Dapat po may checks and balances tayo. I do not want Congress to be complicit to illegal fund use by agencies in the executive branch. So allow me to put on record also my point of order sa proceedings kanina. Hindi po pinila ang boto ng mga nasa dissenting opinion, hindi pinag-explain ng objection. This isn't democracy at work. I condemn the proceedings you had earlier. Traditions that no longer work should be stopped. Now let me proceed to my questions, Madam Chair. Inamin po ng DepEd led by the Vice President na may item dapat sa General Appropriations Act bago magkaroon ng confidential funds. Illegal po kung wala. Now, on the DepEd confidential funds na nasa General Appropriations Act, nabanggit po last year, I can recall, nagagamitin din daw yung confidential funds to stop child grooming, abuse on our learners. May I ask po yung data ng DepEd sa paggamit ng confidential funds para masugpo yung ganito. Tapos data din po sa actual cases ng child grooming and other measures para masabi po natin na naging sulit yung confidential funds on this matter.
Madam Chair, Yusek Poa will answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As to the accomplishments of the Department of Education in the use or with the use of the confidential funds, nagsusumite po tayo ayon sa joint circular sa 4 na opisina quarterly as mandated by again the guidelines. Doon po tayo nagsusumite sa Office of the President, sa Office of the Speaker of the House, sa Office of the Senate President, as well as doon naman po sa ICFAO or Intelligence Confidential Funds Audit Unit ng COA. Now, of course, those activities are still ongoing pa po. But just to give you siguro po broad strokes, no, kung ano yung mga programa kung saan natin ginagamit yung confidential funds. Number one, it really cuts across yung ano po, no, yung education, basic education. So pagdating po, for example, sa programming ng ating last mile schools, ginagamit po natin yung mga Intel.
Madam Chair, I was
information.
asking about yung anti-child grooming and anti-abuse na data ng DepEd? Ilan po ba yung mga naging biktima nito in recent years? Tapos ilan yung mga cases na handle ng Department of Education?
Opo, ang masabi po natin, of course, as I mentioned, yung detalye po, sinasubmit natin yan no, sa 4 na opisina. But we found out as to child pornography, no? Meron po tayong yung mga website increase from 23,000 to 81,000, and ang average age ng rescue sa ganyan ay around 11 years old. Tayo po ay nakikipag-ugnayan na rin ngayon sa Council for the Welfare of Children. May mga programa po tayong ilulunsad laban sa child grooming at child pornography po.
Madam Chair, para ma-define po natin yung child grooming, ito yung may mga teachers na kinoconsider po na potential dates yung kanilang mga estudyante. Yun po yung tanong ko, Madam Chair. So ilan po ba yung ganon nitong past year? Ilan yung na-handle ng DepEd?
Sa ngayon po, ang ongoing pa lang po no, na na-handle natin na child grooming case ay yung nasa Cavite po. Yan po ay ongoing na po yung prosecution, and then meron din po sa Zamboanga. So 2 cases po ang officially na under ng DepEd ngayon.
Madam Chair, to be honest, disappointing po yung sagot kasi sa amin po maraming mga nakakarating na reports kahit sa social media ang dami. So kung may confidential funds po yung DepEd, kung pagbabatayin yung performance regarding this matter na sinight last year, wala pong maipakitang magandang performance yung DepEd. Parang dating po sa akin, Madam Chair, nag-iimbento tayo ng dahilan to justify confidential funds. Kahit nga po yung recruitment into rebel groups, quote-unquote, yung data pa po galing sa AFP. Alam natin, nag-iimbento ng data yung AFP pagdating sa rebels and rebel returnees. Kaya for me, Madam Chair, ang dating talaga, tinuturing na prey yung mga estudyante natin, parang balon ng kriminal yung mga estudyante, tapos justify yung confidential fund. Now, while we have budget for confidential fund, Madam Chair, tanong ko naman po on our mental health programs. Saan po sa budget ng DepEd yung specific na para sa mental health programs?
Madam Chair, Asek Galvan will answer the question.
Asek Galvan, you recognize.
Thank you very much for the question. When it comes to the issue on mental health, this has become a top priority of the Department of Education. As such, it is lodged under our learner support programs, and it is considered one of the major thrusts of the department for the foreseeable future.
So saan po? Kasi maraming mga programs naman yung DepEd, special education, madrasa at iba pa. Pero particular for mental health, since this is mandated by the Mental Health Act.
It is currently lodged under the Learner Support Program Fund, and it is actually one of the things that we're very thankful to the Congress for, because last year you were able to accord to us for the first time a special provision fund of 97 million for mental health, which would be benefiting our learners now in this coming school year.
So for this year, magkano yung budget specific for mental health?
Our programs for mental health are intertwined. We have proposed 160 million, particularly for mental health and the improvement of our guidance counseling programs. And this is intertwined with our other programs for substance abuse prevention, adolescent reproductive health, among other youth programs.
Okay, Madam Chair, again, no, I'm alarmed. Mas mataas pa yung budget natin sa confidential funds ng DepEd kesa sa mental health programs when even DepEd itself has data na almost every day po, trigger warning, may nagpapakamatay ng mga basic education students. Mas mataas pa yung bilang ng mga may suicide ideation o yung mga naiisip na titilin yung sariling buhay dahil sa iba't ibang problema. So, hindi ko magets yung priorities ng DepEd sa ngayon, Madam Chair. Another topic, may data po ba yung DepEd, Madam Chair? Ilan yung estudyante na nasa full face-to-face classes?
Madam Chair, Yusek Escobedo will answer the question.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair and your honors. Today po, and the entire school year 2023-2024, as much as possible, ay full face-to-face po tayo unless kung merong disasters ay naka-blended learning po tayo.
Madam Chair, wala pong data na nabanggit. Kasi may schools pa rin na blended yung kanilang pamamaraan. But last year, ang policy ay face-to-face. So I'm confused. Again po, ilan yung nag-full face-to-face ngayon?
Current po ay 22 million dahil yun ang naka-enroll po ngayon.
How about schools? Ilang schools po yung may full face-to-face class?
All the 47,658 public schools, Madam Chair.
So given that data, Madam Chair, ang dami hindi pa rin pala full face-to-face. Kaya we really should get our priorities straight for DepEd. At kung may wish po ako, Madam Chair, sana wala ng confidential or intelligence funds yung DepEd tsaka OVP. I-realign na po natin yan sa pangangailangan na hindi naman confidential.
Thank you very much.
Madam
Thank
Chair.
you very much, Representative Manuel. Next to ask question is Representative Jaime Fresnedi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon po, Madam Chair. And good afternoon, Her Excellency Vice President Sara Duterte and the DepEd family. My question is regarding the budget for senior high school voucher. It appears that in 2023, your budget for senior high school voucher program is 39,326,804,000. But unfortunately, for 2004, your proposed budget for this program is 25,311,393,000. May we know, Madam Chair, the reason for the reduce budget allocation for this program?
Madam Chair, Yusek Poa will answer the question.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Tama po, bumaba po yung budget natin. Just to clarify, our budget for 2023 was 39 billion.33, tama, and then pagdating po sa 2024 naging 25 na lang. Actually bumaba po yung entire budget, hindi lang ng senior high school, pero pati na rin po yung ating ESC, no, yung para sa grade 7 to 10. Ang rason po nun is not because we reduced, it's because nung 2023 tatlong semesters po yung kailangan nating bayaran kasi may utang pa tayo noon na 1 semester. But sa taong ito, so for 2024, nakahabol na po tayo. So 2 semesters po yung babayaran natin. In fact, babayaran na po natin yung mga private schools ng isang bulto for the 2 semesters. Ito pong pasukan. So wala po tayong binawasan, just to clarify. It was just a matter of billing kasi 3 semesters po yung kailangan nating bayaran ng 2023 pero ngayong 2024 for the 2024 budget 2 semesters na lang po.
Maraming salamat po, Madam Chair. May we know the numbers of the beneficiaries of these voucher programs since 2022 up to present? Madam Chair.
Yes, Your Honor. We will submit the total. For 2024, our target is 1,342,420. But if the chair would permit, we will just submit the total since the program started, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May we know the disbursement rate of this program, Madam Chair?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. We are at 97%, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Based on the 2022 budget utilization as per COA audit, it says that you have an unspent funds of 3 billion. It was intended for the procurement of learning tools and equipment. May we know the reason why a big amount of money was not spent for the procurement of this LTE?
Madam Chair, if I may. Yes, Your Honor, we confirm na meron nga po tayong finding na sa COA na ganyan. And to be honest, it is a mixture of issues. No? Ang first issue po natin is nagka-problema po tayo sa ating third-party logistics. So hindi po siya na-deliver sa ating mga schools. Dati po kasi, ang ginagawa ng DepEd is hiwalay yung supplier doon sa logistics provider because they felt that that was more efficient at that time. So ang nangyari po noon is yung logistics provider was not able to comply with the conditions of its contract nung pandemya lalo na, and was not able to deliver. Another aspect is also meron pong nangyari sa procurement na may mga contracts that were given awards pero hindi po nag-enter into the contract mismo yung DepEd with the winning bidder. So nagkaroon po ng delay na ganyan, meron pong mga proceedings, no, may mga motions for reconsideration filed. Ito po ay lahat inaayos na natin ngayon. Number one, doon po sa logistics provider, we already partially terminated the contract para po hindi po talaga makapag-comply. And what we are doing now is we are already asking our regions, no, to procure itong mga logistics providers sa kanilang lugar para po ma-deliver agad-agad itong mga na-stock sa warehouses na mga materials. And doon naman po sa issue sa bidding, naayos na po natin yan. We will now enter into a contract with the supplier. So we're hoping po na maayos na po yan. And we already submitted our explanation as well to COA, which was accepted. That's why we were given an unmodified opinion. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We hope na ito pong problema natin sa mga suppliers natin ay for 2024 ay ma-resolve natin at upang yung pong mga kabataan na masa sa mga learning tools ay talaga pong maibigay sa kanila at maging ma-improve po ang kanilang comprehensive knowledge. Panghuli po ay doon po sa 2024 NEP program proposal ay meron po kayong 5,000 budget para po sa mga teachers na binibigay pantulong doon po sa kanilang cash allowance for teachers to augment the expenses for teaching supplies and materials, among others. Ito po ay once a year, 5,000 pesos. Alam po naman natin na pataas ng pataas ang mga bilihin. Baka po pwedeng ma-increase natin itong 5,000 cash allowance nito. Madam Chair, I propose that we increase the budget allocation for support doon po sa teaching allowance po ng mga teachers.
Comment, please.
Yes, Madam Chair, Yusek Mercado will answer the question.
Thank you, Your Honor. Actually, sir, Your Honor, meron pong 17 bills pending ngayon po dito, and it's been consolidated. And then there's a counterpart bill in the Senate by Senator Win. Ang proposal po doon is for 2023-2024, 7,500 from 5,000. And then by 2024-2025, magiging 10,000 na po siya. I hope you will support it, sir, kasi we're part of the conversation doon sa mga discussion sa mga hearing po.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and rest assured that this representation will 100% support this increase of teaching allowance para po sa mga teachers. That will be all, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Congressman Fresnedi. Next to ask question is from the minority, Representative Arlene Brosas.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would like to ask questions about the learning losses dito. Madam Chair, sinabi ng Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa kanyang SONA nitong Hulyo, learning recovery will be at the forefront of our education agenda. Alam din natin na nakakabahala ang learning poverty sa bansa. Batay na rin sa World Bank report na 90% ng mga batang Pilipino ay hindi na rin nakakabasa sa edad na 10. Ngayon, paano po ito tinutugunan ng panukalang 714 billion budget ng DepEd sa susunod na taon? Ano po ang mga components ng program ninyo dito, Madam Chair?
Madam Chair, Yusek Gonong will answer the question.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The Department of Education is implementing a National Learning Recovery Program. And under the National Learning Recovery Program, we have the National Reading Program, the National Mathematics Program, the National Science and Mathematics Program. We have just launched the National Learning Camp during the end of school year break.
Madam Chair, correct me if I'm wrong, yung National Learning Camp sa pagtatapos ng school year sa ilalim ng NLRP ay voluntary at hindi pinupondohan ng DepEd. Tama ba?
Madam Chair, it's voluntary for teachers and for students, Your Honor. But we have funded it. We've given program support funds for schools that implemented the National Learning Camp. We also have provided meals expenses for teachers who volunteered in the program.
Madam Chair, saan po specific kinuha yung pondo para dyan? Kasi magkano ang nakalaan halimbawa sa Early Language Literacy and Numeracy Sub-Program? Or nadagdagan ba ang budget para dito?
Kinuha po namin sa Basic Education Curriculum funds.
Madam Chair, 81.6 million lang ang pondo para sa Early Language Literacy. Tama po ba? That was last, Hindi po ito
Yes po.
nadagdagan. Saan nyo kinuha yung iba pa?
Madam Chair, Yusek Gonong will answer.
Sorry, ma.
Sige.
ELLN has a separate line item budget, ma'am, and that is 81 million pesos.
Yes, Madam Chair, yun yung Early Language Literacy and Numeracy. Sinabi nyo kanina, under the National Learning Camp, di ba? So, ang pondo ay nanggaling saan particular? Sabi nyo sa DepEd, magkano yun?
It came from BEC, ma'am, Basic Education Curriculum Funds, and GMMS.
Yun. Madam Chair, sa National Literacy Policies and Programs, magkano ang budget dito?
That is 20 million, Your Honor.
20 million. So, again, Madam Chair, magkano yung sa BEC? Galing?
4 billion, Your Honor.
4 billion. Madam Chair, kung pag-uusapan natin tong learning losses, enough po ba itong ginagawa para ma-address? And enough po ba yung line items ninyo dyan sa DepEd para ma-address itong learning losses or mataas nating learning poverty?
Of course, Your Honor, it is not enough. But just like what the Vice President and Secretary said, there are also other items that the government needs to fund.
Madam Chair, kung pag-uusapan natin kung wala yung sa BEC na funding, at least yung 81.6 million, total lang yan halos 105 million pag isusuma natin. Wala pa sa 1% ng kabuuang DepEd budget. Mas malaki pa po yung 150 million confidential fund ng DepEd Secretary dyan, Madam Chair. Kaya parang ang question po natin, paano sasabihin na nasa forefront o unahan ng education agenda ang learning recovery? Madam Chair, dapat yung sa literacy programs na lang, ilaan natin, Kung ganun din lang, kung kinakailangan pala natin ng pondo dyan, Madam Chair.
Apo. Madam Chair, when we roll out our national math program, national science program, and national reading programs, they are tucked into the regular classes of students. So they wouldn't need extra funds for those.
So you're thinking, Madam Chair, na ito ay extra funds? Kaya hindi nyo rin pinadagdagan yung 81.6 million na pondo for early language literacy and numeracy?
Ma'am, the
Then it's the
early
problem.
language, Your Honor, the English early language literacy and numeracy is a separate line item budget from the basic education curriculum funds.
Yes, ang tanong ko po kasi naka-remain siyang ganon, di ba? Hindi naman siya dinagdagan. Kahit na sinasabi natin na may learning losses tayo, na kailangan natin ng ganito, etc.
There are other programs, Your Honor, that address learning recovery, not just ELLN. That's why we have in the basic education curriculum, our reading program, our math program, our science program, and our national learning camp.
Pero Madam Chair, ang literacy programs kasi nilalaanan natin para maraming bata yung matulungang magbasa. As I understand, no, yun po dapat yung nandoon, ano, hindi para gamitin sa kung ano pa man, di ba? Para po sa pagbabasa. So, dahil sinasabi niyo na meron naman kayong NRP, NSP, which is in the regular, ano, pero meron kang learning losses na inaayos eh. So, Madam Chair, dapat ito sana yung binigyan natin ng mas mataas na pondo. And Madam Chair, yun lang po. Gusto kong sabihin na yung 150 million nga ito, 105 million lang eh. Baka pwede ilagay dito kung ganun yung kinakailangan, Madam Chair. Anyway, on to my next question, Madam Chair. Ito po ay tungkol sa DepEd Order number 49, which was released in November 2, 2022. Ito po nakalagay, familiar po kayo dito, no? Ito ay sinasabi na it promotes professionalism in the DepEd, kailangan dumaan sa formal channels without resorting to any political or third-party intervention or accommodation. At employees and officials of the DepEd shall not disparage DepEd and must always be mindful of the reputation and honor of the organizations. May mga inimpose na legal restrictions. Must consider pala the legal restrictions imposed by existing statutes, rules, and etc. Ang question ko po dito, kung sa federation, organization, union, nagpaabot ng reklamo o grievance, bawal po ba?
Madam Chair, Yusek Poa will answer the question.
Your Honor, hindi naman po bawal to answer the question po. Hindi po bawal na ipaabot sa unions because meron naman po tayong continuing dialogue with the associations and our teachers unions po.
Kung sa Congress po nagpaabot, congressperson nagpaabot ng reklamo o grievance, bawal po ba?
Hindi po natin pinagbabawal, Madam Chair, kahit kanino sila magpaabot. If I may answer completely. Ang gusto lang po natin is kasi po meron po tayong grievance procedures sa DepEd at any employee mas maganda na pag may problema mas diretso yung kumbaga remedies niya ay masabi na niya kaagad. But again, we are discouraging them from doing so para lang po mas mabilis nating matugunan yung problema but hindi naman po natin pinagbabawal, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, kung sa congressman or congresswoman nagreklamo o yung grievance pinadaan through SOCMED, bawal ba?
Again, Madam Chair, hindi po natin pinagbabawal but we have to understand that DepEd has to be free from any form of politicization, for example. But again, hindi natin pinagbabawal po yan. They can do that but we discourage that because, Madam Chair, yung susumbungan nila siguro nasa kabilang opisina na lang nila. So siguro po mas mabilis nating matutugunan kung dumiretso na po sila as per our procedures. But again, Madam Chair, to answer the question, hindi po namin pinagbabawal.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Gusto ko lang i-point out na walang specific law, rule, banning public employees from airing grievances, right? Through SOCMED or through any venue for that matter. At wala ring specific law defining formal channels or stating what channel is appropriate and which is not, diba? Kasi po, gusto ko lang, Madam Chair, ipagdiinan, ano? This expands and even exceeds the limits of number 1, the 1987 Constitution, the Code of number 2, the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Number 3, the Magna Carta for Public School Teachers. Number 4, the Philippine Teachers Professionalization Act of 1994. And the international standards such as ILO, UNESCO recommendations concerning the status of teachers. Labag din ito sa mga batas, including jurisprudence, na nagpoprotekta sa kalayaang magpahayag ng mamamayan, online man o offline. Kahit sa panahon ng eleksyon, kung kailan mas stricto ang generally mas stricto sa atin ang rules eh. Hindi bawal
Please
ang
wrap up,
opinion.
Your
Yes, Madam Chair, hindi bawal ang opinion at diskusyon tungkol sa social, economic, political issues, content-based restrictions and censorship ito sa freedom of speech na pinagbabawal sa saligang batas. Madam Chair, hindi pwedeng mag-exceed ng ganon. So kung sinasabi ni ang USEC POA na hindi naman ipinagbabawal, dapat klaro po yun doon, ano? Proper channel sinasabi ninyo, pero wala pong batas na magbibigay kapangyarihan sa isang public official na limitahan ng isang tao kung saan lang siya pwedeng magreklamo. Walang ganong regulation, Madam Chair. Thank you,